The next calculation that is going to help us understand if something's undervalued or not is the token distribution calculation. So when a token comes out, there's several ways a token launches. And this is going to bring us back to Genius Yield. We're going to bring Genius Yield back into the mix, and we're going to do this calculation with that project. Okay, so we're trying to give you a well-rounded group of projects. So we're not just like focusing on one. It's healthy to do this calculation system with several projects so you can build that repetition, right? So repetition is key. Practice makes progress, and progress brings you knowledge, and knowledge gives you wings, okay? Okay, so the token distribution of these tokens, when these tokens came out, they had some sort of sale. They have a seed round sale. There's a private sale. There's public sales in the ICO, the initial coin offering. There's also IDOs, initial DEX offerings. There are liquidity bootstrapping events. There's so many different choices nowadays projects have to launch their tokens out there, especially in the Cardano ecosystem with this novel initial stake pool offering, which is an ISPO. Okay, so we're just going to break down a couple numbers in Genius Yield as far as its beginning seed round phases. We're going to jump to the screen in a second, and what we're going to do is do a calculation, and what we want is we want that number to be higher. Okay, so the last calculation, the fully diluted market cap calculation, that number was lower. The lower the number, the better the value or the opportunity, right? This calculation is higher the number. Okay, so that's why we kind of jump to this one. All right, so let's go ahead and check out Genius Yield's documents and go into where we can find information, because what you're going to need to do now is you're going to need to do a little research and try to find out where you can find this information, where they disclose in their tokenomics. Okay, and all these projects have it. You just got to know where to look. That's what we're doing. We're doing the heavy lifting here at Cryptofluency for all you all out there. Okay, here we are on the docs on Genius Yield. Okay. You can get to this very page right directly from their website or even their application. They have like a little tab that says docs. You just click it, boom, you're here. It's that easy. It's not difficult. That's another thing I would love to profess, is that this stuff is easy. It's not crazy and hard. You just got to know where to look. Okay. And so now we're at docs.geniusyield.co, and we're in the tokenomics section. Okay, and so it gives you a representation of the token allocation. So look, the seed round, right? Talked about seed round, so we're going to look at in a second. You have 20% of the token. So Genius Yield has a total, we just already looked at before, of 100 million tokens. Okay, in their full max supply. And we looked at it's around 67 million are out in circulation. So over 50%. I like those numbers. I like that more and more and more of them are coming out. Token projects also release a fair amount of their tokens. Like in the beginning, generally, most of their tokens are coming out in the beginning, the first couple years, and then it slowly scales down. You know, kind of like the Bitcoin halving event, right? Like every 4 years, the token distribution gets cut in half. And so in the very beginning, if you were mining Bitcoin, man, you were getting like 6 Bitcoin per block or something like that, 6.25 Bitcoin per block. And then it gets cut down every single 4 years in half. So it's always advantageous to capture the incentives with a project in the very beginning of when it comes out in the first couple of years, because that's when the tokens are coming out in a bigger rate. And so we have the seed round, 20% of the tokens. So 20 million, okay, came out in the seed round, and then it tells you the vesting, right? It tells you how the emissions are going to come out. The emissions of a token is like how the tokens are then going to get released. So these people who were a part of the seed round, when are they going to get the token? So 10% vesting on listing, so that when the token actually becomes listed, linear vesting for 24 months, for the rest starting from the 3rd month after the token generation event. Okay, so people are buying tokens before the token is even out there. I did a video in the past about smart places. You know, let's just take a look at that. I also did it with Indy. I did it the Indy token. I did it with the Fluid tokens. They have the liquidity bootstrapping event feature product on MinSwap where you can provide liquidity and gain tokens prior to the token generation event. Generally, the seed round investors are longer term investors, right? You believe in the project, you believe in the team. They're fundamental strategists. They're fundamental strategists. They're looking at fundamentals. They believe in the project. They believe in the team. They're willing to go ahead and invest before the token's even out and then hold them for a long time. Okay. That's another thing with investors out there, crypto investors. It's like, where are the people out there? Where are the strong hands out there that are like holding some tokens? Like, it just seems to me that everybody, as soon as they get like a yield farming incentive, as soon as they get anything, they're just like dumping tokens. Like, I don't understand. I mean, you literally could change your like entire life by just like holding on for a little bit, supporting these projects and accumulating them. It's the difference between accredited investors and like retail investors. So these accredited investors are like, they have more of a backbone to hold projects. Like, where are the strong crypto like people? Where are the strong retail investors that are holding on? I mean, we just looked at Genius Yield going down. It's going down in price because people are just dumping tokens, you know? And so, okay. I mean, you know, maybe you're out there saying, oh, Genius Yield's got nothing. It's going to go to zero. Well, fine. Or could it be that you're going to be so upset by letting go of these tokens without any vision of the future? If Genius Yield starts to get more volume and goes up towards $10 or something, right? I mean, $100, dare I even say, is that insane to say that Genius Yield could go to $100? It's like, you know, where are the strong hands? Okay, I digress off that. ISPO, they had an initial stake pool offering. Okay, 16%. 16 million of them are sent out for that. And we're not going to read this word for word because we're going to get to something important. They have the public sale. There's the team, marketing and partnerships. Okay. You can go on these docs and look at all this. What we're looking for in this calculation, right, that we disclosed is now we get some information about the price that it was sold at. So before the tokens were out, right, the seed round investors were purchasing gens. So if you put up $1,000, if you put up $10,000, right, this was your conversion rate. So you were going to get gens at 0.14, 0.14, so 14 cents. And then they had a private round, right? So the seed round is in the beginning cheaper. You're gonna get more of an opportunity in the beginning. And then the private round, which comes later, they're selling the gens tokens to the private round investors at 28 cents, right? And so if we kind of roll back up to the seed round, 20% of those tokens, 20 million tokens were sold at this price. Okay. And so that's, to me, it's pretty incredible when you think about that. Okay. And I think the seed round could have been divided into private round and seed round. So yeah, a division of these, and a certain amount were sold at 28 cents. There's a lot of people that purchased the tokens here. Now, what I want to take you to is back to the gens chart, and we can go to CoinGecko for that. So let's go to Genius Yield. Gens, where are you at? Gens. Here we are. Here we're at. Let's go to Max. Let's go to trade. Can we go trading view? No trading view available. Isn't that funny? No trading view available. We go to Max. Okay, so let's just say it's saying that Genius Yield's all-time high was 62 cents. And that's what we're going to go off of. We're going to go off of that 62 cents because that's a fair price. I mean, you could make the case that it was a lot higher, that it was like 80 cents or $1. And if I go to Tap Tools, for instance, we're at Tap Tools, going into the Genius Yield chart. Let's see what they have here. Yeah, it's like, I mean, come on, $3. You know, like we said, up at $1.99. I mean, you could make the argument, okay, that no, I invested in the seed round before it got it at what, right? at 14 cents, at 28 cents. And, a lot of people, they probably sold here. That was an enormous value for them, right? But what we're looking at right now is where the price is today. Today, my friends. And we're going to look at it and do the calculation to that number of when it was purchased at the seed round phase to get our token distribution ratio number. Now, we want this number to be as high as possible, remember, to recognize, is there undervalued nature to this project? The higher the number, the more undervalued it is. And so why you look at that seed round phase and the private sale phase, why you look at those numbers, okay, is because there can be an argument, a very strong argument, that the price will return back to that price, okay? So Genius Yield's price right now is 3.6 cents. And at the time of this video, that's why I wanted to do Genius Yield just right now, is because honestly, the all-time low is sitting here as we speak. We're literally looking at all-time lows as we speak. And now I think that's profound. I think it's profound. And why I think that's profound. Let's look at something like Cardano. When was its all-time low? 4 years ago. Would you have loved to get into Cardano at its all-time low? I'm talking all-time low, not like this bull cycle. All-time low. Let's look at some other projects, right? Let's look at some other projects. Let's look at Kopi or something. I mean, like AGIX, right? It's a big popular one. They got a lot of stuff going on with it right now. All-time low. We're talking all-time low when the token had the lowest price. Would you have loved to get into AGIX 4 years ago here? Probably would have, right? But back in that time, you'd probably been saying the same thing. No way, it's zero. Blah, blah, blah. You're not looking at it, right? You're not looking at these projects when they're at their all-time low because nobody wants to care about them because everybody has their FUD about it, right? The fear, the uncertainty, the doubt syndrome. Okay? Where's MinSwap? Let's look at, even these newer projects in the system. 1 year ago, you could have picked up some MinSwap at a super all-time low. Okay? Go ahead, play around. I hope this is inspiring you to do your own little playing around here, typing these things in. Okay? You're not haphazardly just dumping into projects because your number go up. I mean, this is building it over time. This is taking serious the arena you're stepping into, right? And as we sit here and look at Genius Yield, for crying out loud, look at the team. Look at Marvin Burton. Look at Lars Brunjes, the dang Plutus pioneer educator. He's the director of education for the Input Output Global, IOG, for crying out loud. The team is sound. The tech is incredible. The community is fantastic. Does this have no value? Is that no project? Or is it extremely undervalued, my friends? Right now. So we're sitting here looking at this video, the all-time high. Right here, the exact day. So here we are giving you some all-time lows in the future. 4 years from now, you'll look at this video. Or you'll look at Genius Yield price, and it'll say all-time low was June 15th or something like that. 2024. And you'll be like 2028. Gens will be what? Could it be $100? It's like, oh my God, those people could have invested at 3 cents. Now, why could Genius Yield go to $100? Because it doesn't have that many tokens. Only 100 million tokens. I think that's a small token cap, right? I think that's a small amount of tokens. Like we went through the list in the beginning. Cardano's 45 billion tokens, right? Some of these projects have billions, 10 billion. Book has 10 billion. So it's a lot more tokens. You know what I mean? Now they might have more utility, and there's so many metrics to discuss and to argue, and I understand. And that's not like the point of this video. It's just to show you that I think there's some upside to the Genius Yield project as far as it being undervalued. So without further ado, let's look at this calculation. And what's the calculation? The calculation is that we are going to divide that seed price and the private sale price by the current price. That's this calculation, the token distribution calculation. And we're going to look for a high number. So let's go back. Okay. Let's go back to this. We got the 14 cents. So what is that? Got my trusty calculator. Big old calculator. Undervaluation ratio. We're looking at it. So we got the 14 cents, 0.14 divided by 0.036, we'll say. That's 3.8. 0.28 is the other one. 0.28 divided by 0.036. 7.77777777. It's a higher price, right? That's higher. And whatever that exact number was, I forget. And at the time of you watching this video, the price of gens can change. But the price 7.7 is fantastic. Okay, and you're ready? There's a twofer now. There's a twofer. We're going right into the next calculations. This is what we're going to do, exactly the same thing, but we're going to choose the previous all-time high and divide it. The previous all-time high, what does it say here? Okay, 62, when it started to track it on CoinGecko. But there are people out there that are going to be like, no, man, I sold Genius Yield at almost $2. Okay, great. But we're looking at this. And then for fun, we can just do it at like $1.50. How about? Okay. So what's that calculation? You already know the number's going to get higher, and that's what we want. Because you could make the argument that Genius Yield will eclipse 62 cents in the bull run, maybe, right? Because it's its first bull run. It's never had a bull run. And then you can speculate. This, I hope, inspires you to do your own speculation. Well, what do you think it could be? What if Genius Yield goes to $4? What if it goes to $5? What if it goes nuts and goes to $10? I always like to do like longer, way out, like bizarre calculations, like $10 or something, right? And then something like, $1. So we're going to go to 62 cents here. We're going to do the all-time high calculation, which is the next calculation. It's the all-time high ratio calculation. Okay, this is like the third one that we're doing. So we're taking 62.97, that's 63. 0.63, we're going to divide that by the current price is 17.5 is what I got in my calculator here today. 17.5. What does that mean, 17.5? Let me show you what that's like. So I just clicked it to USD. And then here we are, 35. Now, where was 60 something cents? Okay, 62 cents. What we're going to do is I'm going to create a measurement from here. So 36, right there. We're going to go up. Now, I'm just going to mess around. Okay, at 40 cents from this very moment, that's 1,000% gain, right? 1,000% gain. At 54 cents, it's a 1,400% gain. If we go to 62 cents exactly, if we could find it there. Okay, 1,600%. Okay, it goes up to $1, 2,800% gain, right? These are some pretty stinking big gains. Right? But what are you going to do? Are you going to have weak hands and just sell out immediately? Or are you in this to win it? Are you in this to support the project, right? Because you can get some Genius Yield tokens right now and then get into their vaults or provide some liquidity, understand how to do market maker bots and stuff like this. Like if you have the developmental experience, we're actually trying to do a market maker bot right now. I have no technical experience. I'm not a developer at all. I type with my two fingers and it's just, I'm not technically sound. But I'm working with a person who is good at that. And we're actually going to put a video out to try to help log step by step how you create one of these difficult market maker bots, right? For me to imagine anyway. So we're just going to use that as an opportunity to create a market maker bot and show you. But look at the tiny history of this asset. Gosh. Now, why did I do this? Well, because, it's hard. It's like, you can't even get to $10. If you're looking at $10, it's like, whoa, look how small it makes this look back in history. I could do the same thing in Bitcoin in its history and take you through. I have it in me to do that right now, but it would just take a lot of time. Because as price goes up, like Bitcoin went from what, you know what I'm saying? Like it went from these prices to $60,000 now. I'm not saying Genius Yield will ever get to $60,000, but what I'm saying is all this volatility that you see here just flatlines in comparison to where these prices go. And so I'm going to see if I could even do a measurement. What I'm trying to do is measure as if the price of Genius Yield would go to like $10. So we're going to do it from 0.0446 because it looks like that's like the highest it's giving me because it just jumps because we're looking at a valuation that's going so high up in the direction. It just doesn't give you the exact measurements. I'll show you what I mean in a second by that. But we're just going to pretend that we get in position at 4.468 cents. So it's a lot higher than where the price is right now. If we measure up to $10 from that point, look at this, 22,000% gain at $10. Yeah, that's crazy. What I'm just trying to show you is that there's a whole lot of potential in what the opportunity has in store. See how you kind of zoom in there? It looks so, it's so volatile when you really zoom in from a price range of like 3 cents to 6 cents. See how it's like so volatile? And then you can get exact with where you want to put your measurement tool. But as you fan out into further and further prices, right, the history starts to, it looks so insignificant. Like it just looked like that was such a dramatic change. But I mean, it's really, you know what I mean? The dramatic change would be from here to $10, right? So that's that calculation. That's the calculation. And we got one more calculation for you in the next step. So I'm excited about this. It's going to involve a very wonderful topic of TVL, total value locked. All right. Total value locked. We're going to look at that and we're going to get into it.